in this clip, I have a different video with this jump. And one thing you'll notice is with the audio, maybe I don't want any of this audio at all. So what I can actually do is, instead of bringing in the whole clip, so this one is down here, this one's only a couple of seconds long. Notice if I drag the whole clip, it brings in the audio and the video. If I double click on the clip here, then I have the option for drag video only or drag audio only. And so here I can click and drag the video, or I could drag the audio. And this is the audio timeline down here, and this is the video up here. And this works in the exact same way as Illustrator, Photoshop, where whatever is on top, that's whatever you see first. So if this video is on top of here, we wouldn't see what's underneath unless we change the opacity. Now, this one is jumping and it cuts out right when it gets to the water. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of making a subclip for this next video, what I can do is I can just drag in this whole thing. And maybe I wanna drag in just the video. And notice it brings in the whole video itself. And so I'm going to do Command minus, or sorry, not Command minus, I'm just going to do the minus button to zoom in and out, or you can drag on this key down here. And instead of making a subclip, I can just hover over where I want my clip to end and do Control or Command K, and it'll make a cut, and then click on the second part of it and delete. Now, one thing that's happening here is this video is much larger than this video. If we look at the settings on this video, for grasses, this one is 1920 by 1080. So it's a little bit bigger than that initial 1280 by 720 for the cliff jumping one. So if I want to change the size, I can double click on my video here, go to Effect Controls, and then scale it down. In newer versions, you can just double click. Actually, you can do that here. You can double click on the video itself, and you should be able to just shrink it down that you want. You don't need to hold down Shift. So now when we play this back, and the reason that we're getting this red here is because it is a different size. So it's asking you to render. And the way you do that is just hit the enter button, and it'll take a second, and then it should turn green. And it just makes the video preview run a little bit faster. Now this I can drag out because I have extra footage on the end. And if I want this to fade out at the end here, all I have to do is right click and do Apply Default Transitions. And that's going to create a cross dissolve on the end, or a fade out. And this fades out to totally opaque or totally transparent. If you wanted to put a color underneath it, you can draw a selection around your videos, drag it to the layer above, and then down here where you see New Item, you click on that, and you've got a bunch of options. Inside here, I've got Color Matte, which is our way of creating a color. And then you say, okay, ask you to choose a color. So maybe I want to fade out to like a nice blue. And I'm going to call this Blue Matte. And it doesn't add it directly to our timeline. I have to click and drag it to our timeline. So I can place it right underneath. And now when it fades out, it'll go to blue. And I don't need it for this entire length. I can just drag it so it is just right here at the end. Let me extend it a tiny bit. So we have this video so far, jumps in, comes down, then fades out. Just something pretty simple and quick. Hit enter to render it. Now, you could add a fade in on the beginning, and that's just you hover over the edge, right click and apply default transitions, and then you can adjust how that starts. So maybe it fades in here as well.